Hello everyone and welcome. I'm here in the village of Inagh, in the good house in Inagh, and I suppose in everyone's life there comes a special day or maybe a special time, and I think probably a special day that when we look back we always remember that day as being a really happy day and a really important day in our lives. Probably this day that I'm talking about has brought a lot of people together, and especially the parish of Inagh were united when they headed off for county meet in pursuit of an All-Ireland Championship. The Clare champions were Inagh that year. They had won the Clare Championship. They were heading to see if they could win an All-Ireland, to become the first team from the parish, and even I think from the county, to win an All-Ireland title. So it was a huge ask. And tonight, 10 years later, we're looking back at that very special day in the history of this parish, and there has been many, but this probably tops everything that I have heard of anyway, and we've had great days since. I'm going to go to you, Flann Garvey, first of all. I heard you talking there a bit earlier. You were almost roped into the position of team manager. It wasn't your first time. You were team manager back in 1974 when the boys won the minor as well, and you were involved in teams that I played with, so I go back a good bit as well. So we went to a minor final in 1978 as well, so it was a good choice. You had a good history. Would you tell us a bit about that day, Flann, and the build-up to whatever?
Well, first of all I want to say I was very lucky to have such talent available to me that year. And even though I didn't want any more work in my life, I was very happy to do what I could, as best I could, and to be as fair as I could to everybody. And that day we went off by bus, the whole lot of us, including the Mayor of Clare from Australia, who was over in an assignment at the time, and we went off up to Ashburn, County Meath. And it was a beautiful Sunday, sunshine, perfect conditions. And on the day there was huge turnout from the parish. I think there were 3 big buses and a smaller bus, apart from people driving in their own cars as well. So there was tremendous support, and just to say, the girls won on the day and created history, and are still the only Camogie club in Clare to have won an All-Ireland. And of that we all feel proud. They're a unique bunch of girls, but I'm not surprised they won, because the talent was there and they showed it on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. You must have been very proud when they did win, when they won out, and when coming back, I heard you talk about the reception they got when they came back to the village. Yeah, that was very special, the night that was had here after.
It was indeed, and we came in just down the road there and off the bus, and we put up on Oliver Foley's open truck at the back. And I can remember well that my good friend Michael Cuddy came out of his house, and let's say he had more than a few Lucasades taken at the time. And he got talking to Garda Monaghan, who I met the other day. I said, by the way, Andrew, do you know where you were on the 27th of November in 2011? Anyway, he was the guard on duty that night. And someone, I know yet who it was, had bangers above the cross, you see. They were up in the air, and of course Cuddy kept telling Andrew Monaghan to see those bangers and so on. And he gave the famous guard the reply, I don't see anything. And he said to me that day above in the bikes last week, he said, Flann, do you know, when you don't see anything, you have nothing to check out. But we came back to tremendous reception, absolutely fantastic. Bonfires blazing, people happy, everyone was so happy on the night, and it went on for days.
Yeah, absolutely. Patricia, could I just ask you there, you were captain of the team on the day. Michelle. That's how many names here. Michelle, you were captain on the day. It was really a very proud day for you to be captain of an All-Ireland winning team. It doesn't happen too often in anybody's life.
Yeah, great bunch of girls, very unlucky couldn't play. Had on crutches on the day, gutted that I couldn't be on the field, but absolutely so proud of all the bunch of girls in the team. Even when I was on crutches, they included me all the time, included me in every training session, included that I was still there or whatever, and I'm still so proud of them. I went on from there to go to Inagh Camogie Club, and we've won a lot since, as all of us together, a lot of us that would have been on the field that day together.
Yeah.
And I think we drove on underage, adult, in all codes, senior and junior A, and I think that day may have been the start of where we are today in our club.
Absolutely, I would say that. Siobhan, you were full back on the day, I believe. You were. You had a busy day.
Busy enough, yeah, but the girls up front in the business, there was 3 goals in quick succession within a few minutes, so it took a bit of the pressure off. Yeah, we kept the ball out anyway when we needed to, so
Absolutely.
did enough on the day.
Yeah. Patricia, you were playing in the half-back line, I believe, number 5. I've seen your son play number 5. I don't know if he was as good, if he's getting to the heights that you got to an All-Ireland final, but he might in the coming 1 year, any of the 2 of his sons. What do you remember of the day, Patricia?
Great memories of the day. I can't believe it's actually 10 years later. I only looked at the photo this evening before I came down. I can remember the girls very well. The score on the day was 5-4 to 3-4, I think. And I'm hopeful that my 2 boys will be able to achieve what we have achieved down the road. They were a great bunch of girls to play with and to train with. It's great to see the girls here tonight. So many of them here. It's great to see that they haven't aged one bit.
I am going to get to that. Can I ask you, you were trainer of the team as well, is that right?
Yeah, I was.
Well, would they have been Ireland's fittest team?
I don't know, if you understand the girls, they're very determined, and anything they were asked to do, they did it.
They did it, yeah.
You can't ask any more of the girls, and no, they were a good team, and they had great skill.
Yeah.
And they're still fit, and they've proven that down through the last 10 years, the amount they have won at the club.
And of course, anything you asked him to do, you did it yourself as well. So that was a great thing.
I don't take no notice of that. I just do what I have to do, and that's it.
Yeah, Fiona, what you were in your communion dress. I think that day. I'm not sure. You must have been.
I didn't start on the end. That's all I counted. Yeah, I suppose it should have been 10 years ago. Yeah, I was young at the time. I'm going to say I'm still young. And like, you know, we went visited the national schools with the cup, you know, the days after the win. And I suppose when you think about it, we went into classes where there are girls that play with now. So, like, success breeds success, and you know, it was a great victory, and we celebrated for a long time, and we celebrated again tonight.
Yeah. I think that was probably your first year winning the county final. Since then, I think, have you won 3 or 4 county finals?
Yeah, well, 4.
4. I suppose a bit of prompting there from your biggest.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that was really the catalyst for what was to come. Like when this team, you know, set down a huge marker. And it's fair to say that GF stepped up then, and more girls came along, younger girls and underage. And what this club has achieved is phenomenal. 3 months to finals, beaten by 2 just by another point only a few weeks ago even, and you're still there, still playing.
Yeah, we're thereabouts. So we're unfortunate. You know, there 3 weeks ago. Look, we hopeful that day will come again. We can't take anything for granted. You know, victories are hard earned no matter what grade they're at. So we'd hope to drive on. And yeah, there's younger girls coming, and you know, they see, you know, 10 years ago they saw us playing in county finals, Munster finals, All-Ireland finals, you know, and they saw us playing the Munster final this year. So hopefully we'll just keep the ball rolling, and hopefully we'll get back there again. Absolutely.
Helen, you were the other baby in the team at that time, and I see by the report here you knocked in a goal for good measure as well.
My memory from that day anyways is Patsy just coming into the dressing room at half time with a Inagh Camogie club bag from my mother back in her heyday, and just belted it around the dressing room and said we weren't going to lose at that day, and we didn't. That was the motivation enough for us to win it. So absolutely delighted, and delighted to be back here tonight celebrating with the girls. It's just a great momentum for the club.
Yes. in fairness, I think he had a little bit of inside information before he left Inagh at all, because Anne Harper was a very influential member of the Tara Club back in the time when I was in London. She was very more than influential. And what did it mean, your own club playing against your own club, would say, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had played now it was a good few years before, so there weren't any of the girls I played with playing, but it was a lovely occasion to play, to see the two teams playing against each other, but obviously
You only have one club. Absolutely. That's what we're looking for.
But just to say that Tara were a serious club in London. They pulled girls from all over Ireland, from almost every county in Ireland. So they were a formidable opponent to be facing in, you would say London, but London, especially at that time, there was a lot of girls in London.
Tara were obviously a very strong club in London, and they won a lot of the provincial titles there. So I think it was a great achievement for Ireland to win that match.
Yeah. And Tara, you were another goal scorer that day, and another one of you must have been on the minor team as well, I'm sure, and an under 16 team, I'm not sure.
Player minor underage, and the whole lot myself and Helen. Like Helen said, if Patsy told you to run over there, climb the wall and fall off the other side, you did it as fast as you could. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. David, were you at the match? I'm sure you were.
I was there.
He was in the pub after as well.
There were great times that I often enjoyed it double bit. And I not one since, but I think that was as good as any time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have to say about it.
Yeah. Noreen, what's your memories of the day?
All good memories, yeah. Great result, I suppose, really. Come back time, it was magic. It was close for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are your own memories of the day?
All great memories. Great evening.
Yeah.
Great match.
Yeah. You must be very proud of what your family has achieved, especially, down through the year. Since that day, it's just cup after cup coming back to the medals after medals coming back to the house.
After them all.
Yeah. But for the whole athlete that's here, I mean, to do that, to go up and win in All Ireland, it must be something that has bonded you all together. Not that you were all friends anyway, but it's a day that I'm sure you all look on as just been a magnificent day for your families, first of all, and for your parish, and a day that won't be ever forgotten. Flann has kept it alive today, but I was actually up on that pitch about a year ago. Mike Daly, he originally came from Mercer's Mills, and he's a relation of my mother's, and I visited him, and we went to the clubhouse, and I remember looking out at the pitch, and he said, "There's where Inagh won their championship," and I can tell you one thing, I looked at the pitch twice, because the memories of that, of a team from Clare had gone up and won that on that pitch. It was just lovely, nostalgic thing for me to look out and say, these are my people that won. Flann, I'm going to give you the last word there before I finish up. Just since then, the game of Camogie has, was always very strong here, but it has gone from strength to strength, and Camogie at the moment is, and I sincerely say this, is the most enjoyable game to watch now, especially since the rule change. It's got a little bit more physical, but the skill level in Camogie has I love sitting down at home, watching the games at home, and going around obviously following these girls and watching them. It has become a phenomenal game.
It has indeed. And going back in time, in 1977, I think Anne Hare might remember this, we had our first schools competition, Inagh Camogie and Clonanagh, and we won the county final that year, and we won it for 4 years in a row, and I was delighted to see that in time that what began as Inagh Camogie and Clonanagh is now Inagh Camogie and Clonanagh from beginning to end, and that's fantastic. And that was why, I suppose, going back to your time, we called the club here St. Flannan's, because there was all bitterness in this parish, which, Jesus Christ, was awful. Being two sides of the parish, which should never have been, but there was. So we called the team St. Flannan's, so you didn't have to shout for Inagh Camogie or Clonanagh. But it was great to have the Laffertys and Jennifer Griffin and Christina Glynn, and the Wins from Clorna, and the Devis from Clorna, and so on, and all the girls here from mine as well. It was fantastic, and as the girls have said, it showed to others, the younger generation coming up. There are 11 champions in our parish, representing the whole parish, and we can be as good as them. And please God, these girls will live to see the day when this parish will win a senior county final, a Munster final, and an Ireland final once more.
It's not too far away, Flynn. It's not too far away. I just finished, when I go back to the pitch there, I'm there most evenings, I live quite near it there. I see young girls there playing this game. And I know they're playing it because of what she have done and what she've achieved. They have something to look up to and something to aspire to. And that's the legacy that all of you girls here tonight have left this parish. And that is a fantastic thing, to be able to bring those girls into a pitch like it. And I just want to congratulate you. I'm not sure if I was around 10 years ago to congratulate you, but I'd be late at 10 years. You know, very proud of you all. As a Kildare man, I'm most proud of every one of you that's here in this room. And lovely night, Glenn, and I'm honoured actually to be asked to come down here tonight. And enjoy the night, ladies. You're looking fantastic. I'd say you could go tomorrow and play another All Ireland.
I finished with a note about Nicholas himself. He might like me saying this now, but as he said, I was in charge of the team. He was on as well too. And we were playing the bridge below in the market one day, and a fella called DC, I can't remember what his first name was. He was running a rack, and no one could stop him. At half time I said, listen, I want someone. I was fairly good to see what things were happening. And all I wanted to do was, I wanted DC stopped. And I asked the team, I said, is there anyone prepared to volunteer to stop DC? I said, all you got to do, stay in front of him, pull like fucking hell, I said, and tip the ball from him. And one man, and he wasn't the oldest of the team, stood up, and David Dixon said, I'll do it, Flan. And why, yes, but he did. And we didn't win that match, but we got back very close. If I had him in the beginning and toppled DC, it would have done.
I'll give you that 20.
Thanks, Nicholas.
I'll give you that 20 in a few minutes, Glenn. Ladies, thanks very much. Thanks.